Hello, class 12th student. Today, again, I'm going to start chapter 7. Topic is aggregate demand and related concept. This is part 3rd. In this chapter, in the 7th chapter, we have to learn about the concept of aggregate demand, component of aggregate demand, concept of aggregate supply, then consumption function, saving function, and at the end relationship between these two. Okay, so in these content we had completed aggregate demand, okay, and component of aggregate demand. Today we are going to discuss about aggregate supply. So the today topic is aggregate supply. So this is the topic of today video. Okay, after that there will remain three topic: consumption function, saving function, and relationship between them. Okay, and more alternative content. So here in these content you get numerical question also. So student, try to understand, because all the question is going to based upon theory. Okay, so try to understand it. Okay, make a quick revision. What do you mean by aggregate demand? Okay, so aggregate demand, if you forget definition, you are not having any definition in your mind, or you had forget meaning of this. So if you are keeping one thing in your mind, that is aggregate demand is the sum total of C plus I. So if you will write this much only, na, it's mean you know about aggregate demand. Okay, so what is the meaning of aggregate demand? The aggregate demand is the sum total of consumption expenditure and investment expenditure. Okay, now we can write more about it. Who do consumption expenditure? So obviously household sector. Who do better? So household sector will do consumption expenditure. Okay, now who will do investment expenditure? So private plus government sector on purchase of capital goods. Okay student, so this is known as a aggregate demand. Now what I had told you about the aggregate demand, so aggregate demand is the demand of, okay, it is related to two sector model. When I'm going to talk about AD is equal to C plus I, so I'm talking about two sector model. Okay, what I'm talking about two sector model. Okay, in four sector model, AD is sum total of C plus I plus G plus X minus M. C yani consumption expenditure is done by household sector. I is done by private sector plus government sector on purchase of capital goods. Okay student, now it is the expenditure done by government sector as a general on the purchase of goods and services, providing amenities to the people. Okay, so it is related to purchase of government sector. Now it is related to net export या फिर demand of rest of the world. Okay student, so now I can define it. Aggregate demand is the demand of all final goods and services by all four sector in an economy at a given level of income during an accounting year. Okay students, so this is the meaning of aggregate demand. And the second topic you had learned about the component of aggregate demand. So there are total four component of aggregate demand. First is what? Private final consumption expenditure. I stand for gross domestic capital formation. G stand for government final consumption expenditure, and x minus m, actually we will write it in bracket, so x minus m is related to net export. So this is the four component in open economy. If you talk about the closed economy or two sector economy, so AD is equal to C plus I plus G, yeah, C plus I, if we are talking about the two sector economy. Okay, now, so this much we had learned. Today topic is about what? Today topic is about aggregate supply. Okay, so in very simple language, student, aggregates supply means what? We are talking about income. What we are talking? We are talking about income. Okay, so whatever definition you had learned for your national income, and this Y stand for national income, and whatever definition you had learned about national income, now you can write here in the definition of aggregate supply. So national income stand for what? National income stand for NNPFC. N means what? Net national product at factor cost. Okay, student. NI stand for what? National income stand for what? Net national product at factor cost. Okay, student. How we are going to define it? So I had given you how to write. For that I had given you tips, and also how you are going to define all 8 aggregate. I had given you all the tips in the previous videos. But okay, N stand for net. Okay, for factor cost we use money value. We use money value. Okay, student. And N मतलब by normal residence. Okay, P means मतलब all final goods and services. So how we are going to define it? NNPFC, it refers to net money value of all final goods and services produced by normal residents during a given period of time or during an accounting year. So this is the definition of aggregate supply or income. Actually this is a tips for you. If you forget the actual meaning that is given in your book, so you can write national income, meaning of national income. Okay, otherwise how we can define aggregate supply? So aggregate supplies refers to the money value of all final goods and services that producer sector are planning to produce at a given level of income during an accounting year. Okay, so let me understand what do you mean by aggregate supply. But for you, if in your examination you forget the meaning of aggregate supply, so aggregate supply and income both are the same thing. Okay, how these are the same thing, so we learn here. But if you forget the aggregate supply, meaning of aggregate supply, so you can write what? Meaning of national income. Okay, and national income stand for net national product at factor cost. Okay, student, so let we understand our today topic, that is meaning of aggregate supply. So what do you mean by aggregate supply? Okay, so first of all I had written here 3 definition. There are 3 meaning for aggregate supply. Okay, but the standard meaning is this first one. Okay, so try to learn it, otherwise you can write any one, but it gives you a good impression ki you had learned properly, you had understand properly, and you want to write a standard answer. Okay, so let me understand what is the first meaning. Aggregate supply refers to money value of all final goods and services that all producers are willing to supply in an economy in a given time period. Okay, so it is related to what? It is related, I had told you now, aggregate supply stand for NI means NPFC. so FC stand for what? FC stand for money value. It stands for money value, so that is why it is written here money value. So aggregate supply refers to money value of all final goods and services that all the producers are willing to supply in an economy in a given time period. Okay, so I think it is not very tough, you can understand it. Okay, now second one, AS यानी aggregate supply. Remember that aggregate supply, हमेशा aggregate supply we don't use this term. Okay, so aggregate supply we can write also AS. Okay, so AS refers to aggregate production as planned by the producer during an accounting year. So you can learn it also. Now last one is very easy. Who don't feel comfortable in these two, they can write this one also. Okay, so you are going to get marks. Maybe there will be some deduction in the marks, but you are going to get marks, you are not going to get 0. Okay, so what is the last one? Aggregate supply is the sum total of consumption, expenditure and saving. So actually AS यानी the income of a nation, यानी नेशनल इनकम. जो नेशनल इनकम होता है उसकी किसी की भी इनकम ले लो, यू कैन टेक इनकम ऑफ एनी वन. ओके, सो if suppose you are going to earn money, so suppose you get the job of 50,000, okay, so what you can do, you can expend all these money, it's mean you are going to consume it. Okay, if suppose you are going to save some part of it, so it's mean what, ki 50,000 this income you can use in two way. You are going to consume it, you are going to save it, or you are doing both the thing. So that is why कभी भी इनकम के दो ही पार्ट्स हो सकते हैं. ओके, या तो आप उसको कंज्यूम करते हो या तो उसको आप सेव करते हो. ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं या तो पूरा कंज्यूम कर लो या तो पूरा सेव कर लो, बट practically no one can save whole amount, okay, of income. So we consume and then we save. Okay student, so in this way whatever income you get, there is only two use, consumption or saving. Okay, so in this way how much a person is getting the income, you can find out it with the help of his consumption and his saving. Suppose a person is A. Okay, his consumption is equal to 5,000 and his saving is equal to 2,000. So it means his income is equal to how much? His income is equal to 7,000. So in this way we can find out the value of aggregate supply or income. Okay, so in this way AS is equal to C plus S. Okay, so this is the last one definition that is given on the basis of component of aggregate supply. So aggregate supply is always sum total of two things, consumption and saving. Whenever you get money, okay, what you will do? First option, you will consume it. Second option, you will save it. Third option, you can balance, you expend some money, you save some money. But generally no one is going to save whole amount, everyone is going to consume some amount of it, and some amount, remaining amount is going to be saved for future consumption. Okay student, now why we are using here again and again aggregate demand is equal to national income. Why I am using this key? If you forget the meaning of aggregate supply, so you can write the meaning of national income. Why both are the same thing? So here we are going to discuss this point. Okay, so it can be asked in 3 marks question. Okay, and the first one, what do you mean by aggregate supply? So this is the question of 1 marks, 3 marks. Okay, now how aggregate supply is equal to national income, या फिर how both are identical. ठीक है, why there is no difference? So let me understand it. When AS is expressed in physical term, यानी इन terms of goods and services. It refers to total output of goods and services in an economy. ओके अगर आप NI को यानी कि एग्रीगेट सप्लाई को आप फिजिकल टर्म में एक्सप्रेस कर रहे हो तो इट्स मीन इट इज़ गोइंग टू रिफ्लेक्ट whole number of all number of goods and services that is produced in the economy. Okay, we know that the value of total output is distributed to factor of production in the form of rent, wage, interest and profit. Okay, if suppose there is production of 100 crores worth goods and services, so same amount will be distributed in the form of rent, interest, profit and wages. Okay, already I had told you ki what amount goods and services are produced, this much amount is distributed among the factor of production, and then factor of production is going to expend it on the purchase of goods and services, and in this way this is a circular flow, that is endless flow. Okay, that time when I had explained this, okay, that is known as a circular flow of income. So there we consider that there is no leakage, means there is no saving. Whatever income you are receiving, you are going to expend, but in practically we are not going to expend whole the amount, we are going to save some amount. So that is why here we are going to understand it practically. So that is why AS yani income is sum total of consumption and saving. Okay student, so whatever amount is produced, that's when we sell it, what the money we get, then this money is distributed in the form of rent, wage, interest and profit. Okay, so in this way we can say aggregate supply and national income are the same thing. Okay student, component of aggregate supply are national income. So the major portion of national income is spent on the goods and services and balance is saved. Its mean income is either consumed or saved. So in this way national income is sum total of consumption and saving, यानी y या फिर AS is equal to C plus S. So I think this much you are able to understand. Okay, and please student try to learn from your book, then listen the video. If you are having any problem, any doubt, to ask in doubt class. Okay, and no doubt you are able to understand. Okay, now diagrammatic presentation of aggregate supply. So when we are going to discuss these things, this is the question of 6 marks. Okay, now we are going to understand this question from 6 number point of 6 number. Okay, so now diagrammatic presentation of aggregate supply. I had told you na ki whatever income economy generate, it is consumed, otherwise it is saved. In this way national income, there is only two use, consumed and saved. Okay, so this is why NI ya income is equal to consumption and saving. Okay, so let me understand it here with the example of the table. We can see here ki at zero level of income there is 40 consumption. This is considered as a autonomous consumption that we represent by C bar, and in sub book it is represented by A bar. Okay, but basically it is represented by this one, C bar. Okay, so it is what? It is autonomous consumption. Here is what? Minus 40, yani this represent this saving. This represent this saving. Okay student, wait. So this minus 40 represent this saving. Okay, now when income increases from 0 to 100, so consumption is now 120. It's mean our this saving, yani ki how much we are using our past saving, it is equal to minus 20. And in this way aggregate supply is equal to what? Aggregate supply is equal to 100. Why? Because C plus S, AS is sum total of C plus S. और यहाँ पे ये जीरो क्यों आया है? क्योंकि जब हम एग्रीगेट सप्लाई का इक्वेशन लिख रहे हैं तो इट इज़ व्हाट? C प्लस S. कंजप्शन कितना है आपका? 40, और सेविंग कितना है आपका? -40. तो प्लस माइनस माइनस, दिस इज वाई इट इज इक्वल टू 0. Okay, now income increases more, it become 100 to 200. Now here you can see कि our consumption and income both are equal to each other. Okay, now our saving is what, 0, क्योंकि हम जो भी इनकम गेन कर रहे हैं वो सारा का सारा क्या किया जा रहा है, कंज्यूम कर लिया जा रहा है. वॉट एवर इनकम वी आर गेटिंग दैट इज कंज्यूम्ड, दैट इज एक्सपेंडेड. सो ऑब्वियसली आवर इनकम इज गोइंग टू बी 0. And in here you can see aggregate supply is equal to 200. How it is 200? Again I am going to put the value. AS is equal to what? C plus S. What is our consumption? 200. Saving is what? 0. So in this way aggregate supply will be 200. So here is this one. Okay, this represents 0 level of income, and this consumption is related to C bar, and this is related to minus S bar. This represent this saving, and this represent autonomous consumption. Here what happened, you can see ki our income and consumption both are equal to each other, and our saving is equal to what? Saving is equal to 0. Now when more income is increased, now it become 300, तो our consumption is 280. obviously हमारा कंजप्शन बढ़ा है. वी इन यूजिंग 200, बट नाउ वी आर यूजिंग commodity worth 280 crore, but it is not but 20. Here you can see कि our saving is equal to 20 crore. Means there is increase of 100 crore. There is increase of 100 crore in income. In increased income, 80 crore is consumed and 20 crore is saved. So obviously I had told you कि macro level पे भी आप इसको समझ सकते हो. Okay, if suppose you are getting the job in Delhi, so initially you get only 20 or 10,000. So no doubt with the 10 or 20,000 you cannot survive in Delhi. So obviously there are two options. You this save, yani whatever saving you are having, you expend it. Otherwise you take borrowing. Okay, now if your salary increases and it become equal to 50,000, now your consumption and your income both are equal. Means whatever you are consuming, that much income you are getting. So now there is no need to take borrowing, या there is no need to doing this saving. अपने past saving को यूज करने की भी ज़रूरत नहीं है. अब इस पॉइंट के बाद अगर सैलरी इंक्रीज़ करती है तो क्या होगा कि आप उस इंक्रीज्ड सैलरी का पूरा पार्ट कंज्यूम नहीं करोगे. कुछ पार्ट क्या करने वाले हो, आप सेव करने वाले हो. सो दैट इज़ गिवन हियर. ओके, व्हेन इनकम इज़ इंक्रीज्ड बाय 100 करोड़, सो 80 करोड़ इंक्रीज्ड, तो हियर इज़ 280 एंड सेविंग इज़ 20. In this way AS is equal to 300. Okay, now income is increased, it become 400 crore. Now consumption increases, it become 360. Saving also increases, so it become 40 and AS is 400. Now income is 500, consumption is 440, saving is 60 and AS is 500. Here you can see 600 income, now 520 is consumption, 80 is saving. In this way AS is 600. So in this way you can see कि whatever income is there, that much is aggregate supply. इसीलिए income और aggregate supply दोनों क्या है, दोनों एक ही चीज़ है, both are the same thing. Okay, now it's diagrammatic presentation. It is the time to understand the diagrammatic presentation. Okay, so with the help of this diagram, here we are going to write income, and here we are going to write income and consumption and saving. Okay, so here you can see कि जब जीरो लेवल है, ये भी क्या है, जीरो है. ओके, व्हेन 100 इनकम हुआ तो एग्रीगेट सप्लाई भी क्या है, 100. ओके स्टूडेंट, व्हेन इनकम 200, दैट टाइम एग्रीगेट सप्लाई इज 200. Okay, when income is 300, aggregate supply is also 300, and when it is 400, it is also AS is also 400, and when it is 5, it is 5. Okay, and when your income increases to 600, so AS is also become 600. 100। तो इन दिस वे जो इनकम लाइन है या एग्रीगेट सप्लाई लाइन है वो कैसी होगी, अपवर्ड स्लोपिंग एंड स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम ओरिजिनेशन पॉइंट। वो क्या रिफ्लेक्ट करता है कि जीरो लेवल ऑफ इनकम पे एग्रीगेट सप्लाई क्या होगा, जीरो होगा। और जिस परसेंटेज से, जिस प्रोपोर्शनेट से इनकम में चेंज होगा उसी प्रोपोर्शनेट से एग्रीगेट सप्लाई में भी चेंज होगा। वाई? बिकॉज एग्रीगेट सप्लाई इज सम टोटल ऑफ व्हाट, सम टोटल ऑफ सेविंग एंड कंजप्शन। और आप यहाँ देख सकते हो जब इनकम आपका क्या है, जीरो है, तो एग्रीगेट सप्लाई भी क्या है, जीरो है। क्यों जीरो है? क्योंकि इट इज़ द सम टोटल ऑफ कंजप्शन एंड सेविंग। सो when you put the value, so what you get here, जब इस वाले लेवल पे हम जब इस लेवल पे हम वैल्यू पुट करेंगे तो एग्रीगेट सप्लाई अगर हमें फाइंड आउट करना है तो मैंने बताया था ना अभी, एस इज सम टोटल ऑफ व्हाट, सी प्लस एस। तो वैल्यू ऑफ कंजप्शन इज 40 एंड सेविंग इज व्हाट, माइनस 40। in this way what value you will get, 0. Okay, take one more randomly example, 500. Okay, so what is consumption, 440, and what is saving, 60. So when you add, how much you will get, 500. So this is why when you represent income on o axis and you represent consumption and saving यानी कि aggregate supply. Okay, so in this way which type of line you will get, you get upward sloping line that is of 45 degree. Okay, and it is a upward sloping line and it always start from origination point. Okay, now so that is the given here. Okay, income is represented on o axis, consumption and saving are measured on oy axis. A 45 line which represent aggregate supply has drawn from the origin. The line is drawn by taking the same scale on the both the axis at every point at the 45 line. ये क्या रिफ्लेक्ट करता है कि इनकम इज ऑलवेज सम टोटल ऑफ सी प्लस एस, या फिर ए एस इज सम टोटल ऑफ सी प्लस एस। जितना आपका इनकम होगा उतना ही आपका एग्रीगेट सप्लाई होगा। ओके, सो यहाँ पे सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ 45 डिग्री ऑफ लाइन, क्यों 45 डिग्री ऑफ लाइन ही ड्रॉ किया जाता है? ओके, 90 डिग्री या फिर 30 डिग्री क्यों नहीं ड्रॉ होता है? तो वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न हियर। सो the 45 line start from the origin O, since the vertical and horizontal axis have the same scale. The 45 degree line has the property that at every point of it the distance up from the horizontal axis exactly equal to the distance across from the vertical axis. In other words, perpendicular drawn from any point of this line on o axis and y axis will be equal. और हमने क्या पढ़ा? हमने पढ़ा कि y always equal to aggregate supply, और इसको ही रिप्रेजेंट करना है तो हमें क्या लेना होगा? 45 ऑफ डिग्री की लाइन लेनी पड़ेगी, तभी जो परपेंडिकुलर ड्रान किया जाएगा उसकी किसी भी पॉइंट पे क्या होगा, जो ओ एक्सिस और वाई एक्सिस के बीच की जो डिस्टेंस होगी वो क्या होगी? इक्वल होगी। तो दैट इज़ वाई, दैट इज़ द रीज़न कि व्हेन यू ड्रॉ एग्रीगेट सप्लाई, फर्स्ट यू अ अपवर्ड स्लोपिंग लाइन, दैट सेकेंड थिंग इट इज़ ऑफ 45 डिग्री ऑफ लाइन। ओके, सो थैंक यू फॉर टुडे। One more thing, did you know, it is from your VK Ohri book, that in macroeconomics model as propounded by Keynes, you know now who is the father of macroeconomics? James Maynard Keynes. Keynes is known as a father of modern macroeconomics. Okay, who has written the book Income, Employment and Interest in 1936. Okay, so that is in the macroeconomics model as propounded by the Keynes. Price has no role to play as a determination of aggregate supply. Whenever we define aggregate supply, so we are not going to connect with aggregate supply. It is always represented in concern of income. Why? So because owing to excess capacity in the economy, there is a proportionate rise in aggregate supply as when there is any rise in aggregate demand which is lead to a constant price level in the economy. Okay, Keynes ne, when Keynes has written his book, that time there is a, that is the period, the world has seen the period of great depression of 1929. Okay, so there was too much unemployment in the world, so because of that Keynes assumed that कि if there is increase in aggregate demand तो immediately there will be increase in aggregate supply. ओके क्यों? क्योंकि अगर डिमांड बढ़ रही है तो हम को क्या करना होगा, प्रोडक्शन को बढ़ाना होगा, और हमारे पास अनएम्प्लॉयड पर्सन अवेलेबल है तो हम उन्हें एम्प्लॉय करके प्रोडक्शन बढ़ा सकते हैं. ओके, तो इसकी वजह से प्राइस में कोई चेंजेस नहीं आएगा, इन्फ्लेशन या और कोई प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट नहीं होगी. तो दैट इज़ वाई उन्होंने प्राइस को कंसर्व नहीं किया. पूरे आप चैप्टर में ओ एक्सेस पे क्या दिखाने वाले हो, इनकम. ओके स्टूडेंट, सो दैट इज़ गिवन हियर. Okay, so thank you for today. Okay, in the next video we are going to discuss about consumption function and saving function, and that is very 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 important from your board examination, because a numerical question is asked from there. Okay, so student, work hard because July is about to over, and no doubt you have to give board examination, and this time you are not going to get direct contact to your teachers, so it is your responsibility. You are in 12th student, so start to learn, start to read, okay, and work hard so that you are able to get good marks like your seniors. Okay, thank you.